Neurodiversity is the idea that differences in brain functioning, such as ADHD, autism, learning differences, and sensory processing differences, are part of natural human variation, not simply deficits or disorders. This perspective does not ignore challenges, but it asks us to shift from, "What is wrong with this person?" to, "How does this person experience the world, and what supports help them thrive?" Now, let's connect this to development, especially in the prenatal and infancy period. Research consistently shows that many neurodevelopmental differences have a strong genetic component. For example, ADHD is estimated to be highly heritable, with studies suggesting heritability rates around 70 to 80%. Autism spectrum conditions also show a strong genetic influence, often estimated between 60 and 90%. What this means is, children do not develop in a vacuum. They inherit biological tendencies that interact with their environment. In our case, Maya was diagnosed with ADHD, combined type. From a neurodevelopmental perspective, this matters, not as a prediction, but as a contextual factor. Elena may or may not develop ADHD, but she may inherit differences in attention, sensitivity to stimulation, emotional intensity, and regulatory differences. And we already see early signs in Elena's infancy. She shows sensitivity to noise and light, difficulty settling, strong reactions to stimulation, and timidity in new environments. Now, this is important. These are not diagnoses. These are developmental patterns. Neurodivergent development is often asynchronous. This means development does not occur evenly across domains. For example, a child may be highly perceptive, emotionally intense, slower to regulate, and sensitive to environments, all at the same time. This can be confusing for caregivers, because the child may seem advanced in some ways, struggling in others. In infancy, neurodevelopmental differences often show up as sensory sensitivity, light, sound, touch, difficulty with transitions, challenges with self-soothing, and strong reactions to overstimulation. In Elena's case, her NICU experience may also contribute to heightened sensory awareness, stress reactivity, and regulation differences. So again, we ask, is this a problem, or is this a different way of experiencing the world? Without a neurodiversity lens, caregivers and even professionals may interpret these behaviors as difficult, overly sensitive, and problematic. But with a developmental lens, we might instead understand, this child may need more predictability. This child may need lower stimulation environments. This child may need more time to warm up socially. So what does this mean for us as counselors? It means we shift our role from correcting the child to supporting the system around the child. We help caregivers understand their child's temperament, respond to sensory needs, reduce overstimulation, and build co-regulation. And importantly, we reduce parental shame. Because parents like Maya may already be thinking, I'm doing something wrong, when in reality the child may simply be developing in a different but valid way. This is where the case becomes especially powerful. Maya's ADHD influences her stress response, her organization, and her emotional processing. And now, she is parenting a child who may also have heightened sensitivity and regulatory differences. This creates what we might call a neurodivergent parent-child system. Our understanding requires support, flexibility, and understanding, not judgment. As we move forward in this course, I want you to hold on to this idea. Development is not linear, it is not uniform, and it is not one size fits all. Our role as counselors is not to force development into a mold, but to understand it, support it, and respond to it.